What's up guys, Cedar Gamer here with the 2019 room tour. I skipped out on it completely last year because I wasn't happy how the game room looked. I've really downsized a lot this year, and I kind of kept mostly PlayStation stuff and added more PlayStation displays. So let's get started here. So here's just the entrance door. I've repainted everything because this room used to be just nothing but green all over the walls and everything. It looked terrible. I hated it. But finally just got off my ass and started doing it. So let's just start up here. Some little stickers I've had up here. I've had these two up here for years, and then I added this one recently. Check out Switched On SNES. He makes his own remix for video games on vinyl, and he recently did a Secret of Mana that was really good. So check that out. So over here to the right of the room, I have my Resident Evil 3 Nemesis standee that I've had for a while. It looks great. Right when you turn into the room, you're just like, wow, it looks awesome. I got this off eBay a long time ago, so I've just had it in a corner, like folded up, because it's so big, dude. It's so huge. I just can't tell you how big it is. It's almost as tall as I am. I'm like 5'11", so it's huge. It's amazing. I love how the Nemesis is like right behind Jill, like ready to take her out, and she has like no idea, and it's really cool. I love it. Next is this PlayStation display cabinet. I found this, or a friend of mine that I traded my Xbox kiosk to, found this in a rundown like pawn shop like a few hours away from me. It was just sitting there, and the guy let it go for a really decent price. So it has a built-in TV inside of it. Well, not built-in. I had to put one in there, but it's like a little kiosk display. And then you can put any game in there. But I got Mega Man X6 going right now. One of my favorite games on the PS1 because I just love Mega Man X. But you can see on the inside here, I got a lot of like extra storage for this cabinet. They don't have any like they're broken, so that's why they're not in here. But anyways, there's some stuff in there. Some demo discs I got back there for the PS1. This TV is a really old rundown TV, but man, it's hard to find a 13-inch TV around town. It's gray, so I put a bunch of like black tape around it to make it look a little better, and I think it worked out great. Like look from a distance, and you can tell it looks better. This thing isn't complete. It's missing some stuff on the inside. That like there's lights that go behind this PlayStation logo on each side that make it pop out more. I just don't have it, but I got a PS1 in here so I can switch games on the fly anytime I want. The games on the inside haven't really changed from when I showcased it a while back. So everything's kind of the same in here. I haven't really added any games, but also I have down here the Final Fantasy IX, the bouncer standee. It's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to get it on camera here, but it doesn't look the best, but you can see it. Pick a World will take you there. It's a really cool advertisement they had. And it also came with these Final Fantasy IX $10 deposit certificates on when you reserve the game, you get the certificate. And it came with the whole stack of these with the standee. It's really cool. Recently I found this PS1 clock. Supposedly used to be on KB store's wall. But it's long since, the motor in this long since died, so I got it for super cheap because it was broken, but I'm not too worried about that. I think I got a guy that can fix it pretty easy, or I've watched some tutorials on YouTube that make it look easy, but I'm kind of afraid to try it. So I have some of my long box games in here, a couple of nice ones in here. Viewpoint's pretty cool. Starblade Alpha down here is a rare game. I got this from my manager. He got this PlayStation like back when it first came out, and it's in like perfect condition, but it's in the box, and I like keeping it in here because it's just goes with the theme, like it's in the store. I also got the PlayStation PSM magazines in here that I'm really enjoying. This is a really great PlayStation magazine. They talk about, they're so excited for anything PlayStation, and it really shows in their magazines. They've long since died off, but I love it. It's a lot of nostalgia for me in here. So all right, let's move on to the next display. Is my Nintendo 64 light. It's I don't know, it kind of throws it off because you know, PlayStation and then N64, but I don't really have anywhere else to put it right now, so I'm just gonna have to stay with it like that right now. And of course my Shadow of Mordor sword up here, if you can see it. Not really much to say about that. It came like in some kind of like press release, and it was like from overseas, and the hilt is like incredibly detailed, and it's like an umbrella, so I don't really move it. It just looks good up top. My Parappa the Rapper clock I've had for years. I let a little kid play with it just because I was being nice, and he totally ruined it. You can just hear it. It doesn't even work anymore, but it looks cool, I guess. So got a little Resident Evil head up there. There's a little bit more green left over here. It's just hard to get right there. And if you come to this side, I mean, you can't even really see it anyway, so I kind of just left it there until like future projects, I guess, I can do. But you can see the green, how terrible it was. A dark green, ugly. It made the room look really gloomy, so I'm glad you can see the difference. It's just great. This, I also heard this was a poster that was hanging in KB Toys a long time ago. I don't know if that's true. There's nothing to back that up. It was just how it was advertised for sale, but I love this Resident Evil 1 poster. It's pretty damaged, but I like that damaged look to it. Like it's, you know, it's been in stores and kind of gives it a little more legitness to it, but I love that. If the suspense doesn't kill you, something else will, and it has that zombie on it. You know, that scene in the game, that iconic scene where the zombie turns around after eating your friend, the other STARS members. So it's pretty cool. I really like that. So I'm keeping it up high on the wall there. And then I got my Mega Man Legends standee. I made a trade-in a while back, and this is one of my Grail standees for sure. It's so big. It's about as big as the Resident Evil standee, so I love it. It's got the arm cannon upgrade on here, a few scenes from the game. If you've seen my pickup video about the poster I got of this, it's exactly the same, except it's in standee form. So, and then I got the Resident Evil standee, a countertop standee for the GameCube version. I love my Resident Evil, so it kind of throws off the PlayStation theme, but I don't care because Resident Evil's sweet. I really enjoy that standee. I also got a PlayStation countertop kiosk here. I don't have a place to plug it in right now or a great place to display it, so it's just kind of just sitting here right now with the built-in little VCR down here. It's really cool because I got some VHS displays or VHS promos that I can play on here too. Really cool. Got a PlayStation in there to play the games on the TV. And these go to a different kiosk, these little stickers things here. I just don't have enough room to put the big kiosk in here right now. That's something that's going to have to stay put up for a while until we get a bigger house. Or I expand on this room, which is my plan. And, you know, the famous Parasite Eve standee that I found, I put a post up years ago on a forum, and then some guy just messaged me years later and was like, hey, I have one of these stored up. I'll sell it to you. And I was like, oh God, he's gonna want like $500 for it, which is fair for this standee. It's probably worth more than that in perfect condition. And he only wanted $200 plus shipping, which was like $240, $250 maybe or so. It's been a while, but this thing's still in about perfect condition since I got it. Amazing, a beautiful standee. I wish you guys could see it in person. Hopefully the quality of this video will show it. But man, this standee is just still one of my most favorite things in this room. So, a lucky find. Guys, just don't give up on it. If you're looking for something, just ask questions, always ask, and then you will see what you're looking for. So this is sweet. I'll never let it go, of course. I've said that about things in this room before that I've let go, but anything PlayStation, I'm just like, don't touch it. I'll never get rid of it. PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 are still just my absolute favorites in this room. So let's move on. Oh, just the thing, some guy messaged me on Instagram and said that there's a post, someone wrote an article about me finding this thing and how that I never gave up and how I found it. I'm still looking for it, so who knows if that's true or not, but if it is, that's really cool. I would love to read it. So anyways, moving on here to the wall, I have a Legend of Dragoon. This is an official like display here. This went to a standee, and it came off in lots of different parts, but I have like 3 parts of like a bigger display. I don't have the whole thing, and it's huge. I've seen pictures of it, but I love the title here. I like having it on the wall, so it looks sweet. The next one is this new releases PS1 display. I've shown this in one of my videos before, but this is absolutely the rarest thing in this room, I would think. This display was so hard to find, and it took me years and years to find it. I've only seen one picture of it online on Google, and it's missing like a lot of these things on it. A lot of these cards on it. It had like 2 little cards, like a Stuart Little game or something like that. Man, this thing is so cool. And you can, these new releases, you can switch these out. You can pull these things out and put new headers on it. And I have those over here in this display. They're down here. You can switch them up and stuff. But check out that video. I go more in depth about talking about it and how I got it. It was just sitting in a guy's room, and he was showing a new game that he picked up, and I saw this in his background, and I immediately was like, dude, like, can I have it? And it took a long time to get it from him, and I really appreciate it that he finally sold it to me, because he was trying to collect. He's a sealed collector, and I wanted to give him a bunch of money to get more sealed games, and we were just in the right place at the right time, and we just made the right trade. So this little logo, it's a nice little plastic logo here. So this thing is really high quality, man. It's so good, and it's in perfect condition. The guy kept it in such good condition over the years, so I love it. My favorite thing in this room. Well, sorry, I say that. I said this was, but I think I'm gonna go more this display, because the trip, the trying to get this for so long really was more than anything in this room. I've been looking for this thing for so long, and finally getting it is a feeling that only those collectors that find that grail they've been looking for can understand. So looks good. Let's take a little step back here. Just kind of check out this whole wall here. It's hard to tell if this damn 64 sign lit up, but man, looks wonderful, guys. I love it. I love walking in and seeing this here, so I hope you guys enjoy that too. Here, a display that everyone's seen before. If you've seen my 2017 game room tour, my Oddworld standee, my Dino Crisis 2 standee, two great games. I love these 2 games. Oddworld was, I didn't like it as a kid, but slowly as an adult, when I played it, I understand it more, and I get the concept of the game, so really enjoy that. Dino Crisis 2, I mean, run and gun, blowing up dinosaurs, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't like that game? And then the PlayStation cabinet that I bought a long time ago. I still got the 3 big box games up here. And then I have my favorite PS1 games on display here, the more rare ones too. R-Type Delta, Einhander, Thunder Force over here, so nothing much has changed on here. A really nice guy that I sold my World Nintendo cabinets to, he had these little cards here that show like these hot hits and stuff. That's a new addition, if you guys noticed that. The new released one, the hot hits, I love that, it's so cool. Keeping it on my 3 favorite games up here, because I love my shmups. You can probably hear one playing in the background right now, but I'm going to get to that, why that's going, here in a second. And then, another one that I've always wanted is this PlayStation display cabinet that you can actually hang on a wall, but I don't want to put it on my wall because I'm afraid it'll fall and the glass will just shatter, which would be devastating. But this thing was usually missing on the ones that I've seen. I don't know how they're off. I think I guess it's bolted on here in some way. Yeah, it is in some way, but somehow they got taken off. I don't know why, but it's hard to find this thing on top. So let's take a look. I got my Dreamcast games in here, a couple of rare ones at the top, but nothing really that special. I'm trying to get that glare off there, but just a few, Dreamcast games. I'm probably gonna move those eventually and put some other PS1 games in there, but I just need more room. I need more shelving. I'm never done in here. So here on the wall, I got a God of War 2 I don't even know if I could call it a poster. I just call it a display, but it's got that like this stuff is popping out. Like every detail of this thing is like popping out on this display. It's like a big plastic piece. But who doesn't love God of War? Like, come on. So it looks great. Kratos looks awesome on there. I've had that for a while. And then I got this PlayStation Classic countertop standee here. A sad end to the PlayStation Classic. I don't have one in my collection because I don't want one, and I'm gonna end it right there. So, but this display is sweet. This has a little mini PlayStation. That's the actual size of the console. As you can see here, it says actual size. Has all the games that are on it and things like that. Really cool. Looks great. In this tight corner here, I have my Game Boy games, my Nintendo DS games. I'm a huge Nintendo DS collector. I got a lot of the rare games up here, and they look pretty sweet. But have that, a few displays in this corner that I'm not using right now, and it's a mess down there. I hate it. I need more room, guys, really bad. And then my Sega display light. You can see more green up top here. It's just hard to get up to this. I don't want to take this thing off here. That's the bottom line. I don't want to do it. And as far as paint up there goes, I don't want to paint up there either. So I'm having a hard time figuring out how to get that green off there. I don't like any paint on this thing at all. I could cover it up, yeah, but it still scares me. So that's gonna be a future project. But look at it, I love it. It looks like, it reminds me of the Sonic cartoon, but I know this is promoting like Sonic and Knuckles and things like that too. It looks like somebody's missing right there. It kind of looks like incomplete or something. I don't know. That's right though. That's how they all look. But it looks so good, guys. This is one I just don't really want to get rid of. It really lights up my room too, which my room desperately needs more light. And if all that racket you guys are hearing, I have R-Type Delta playing right here, rare PS1 shmup. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but the picture looks amazing on this HD TV. It's coming from my PS2. I don't know if you can tell, I needed to come back on. The cinematics don't really look much better, but gameplay always looks so good. It's got famous PS1 load times here. I don't know if you guys can see how amazing this looks on this TV, and the reason why I bring that up is because I've recently purchased a FrameMeister, and if no one knows what a FrameMeister is, it upscales retro video games from your retro consoles to HD. And it sounds like it's not that great, and I've always watched videos on it, and I was like, yeah, it sounds cool, but man, I just can't really see it. I just bit the bullet one day, and I bought it, which is really recent, and it's running through SCART here. I'm not huge. I don't know. There's so much to talk about on this stuff. Go to My Life in Gaming, and they really break this stuff down. But you need like a RGB like SCART connector here. And this is their SCART, the Pack-a-Punch, and I'm not sure, maybe some people know what that means, but I'm not really familiar with it. Apparently it's a newer thing that they're selling on this website that sells these cords here. Anyways, this FrameMeister makes, I don't know if you guys can see it, but man, I am so happy with it. When I first saw it, I was like, maybe it's not as different, but when I switched it back to composite, which is the red, white, and yellow cords, it looked like shit. Like terrible. It was so bad. But man, I'm going on and on, but it's beautiful, guys. It's really brought me back to retro gaming again, and I'm just blown away. It looks so good. I can't stop watching it. But anyways, let's move on before I fall in love here. So my game room was always just a library, so I'd come in here and grab games and play it. But since me and my fiance have been married, we spend a lot more time together. We've always spent a lot of time together, but I love hanging out with her. But, you know, I'd play games in the living room with her, or she'd watch me, but most of the time she wants to watch her TV shows, all that. So I wanted my gaming area back, so I brought back my HD TV in this room. It's been sitting in a different room forever, and I've had this thing for so long, this Vizio HD TV. And I brought my PS4 in here, my Xbox One, my Switch. Of course, I'm going to put more retro consoles in here in the future. But I love the setup now. It looks so good with this damn Framemeister. It looks so good. All right, let's move on. I'm geeking out over here. Got my Donkey Konga standee that, not much to it. It plays, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little light that goes boom, 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 and that's like all it does. But it looks cool from a distance. I do enjoy it a lot. Got a couple of boxed N64 controllers over here, a blue one, I think that's a yellow one over here. Yeah, nothing too special. And I got my PlayStation retailer binder, which has like a bunch of like information on accessories for PlayStation 1, which is really rare, really cool. Really like that. Got my, this come from like overseas. They have this like volume 1 like demo. It's hard to put it into words, but just search this up on YouTube, and there's a lot of videos on it and things like that. I got my rare Crash Bandicoot employee only handout that they got. It's the Insane Trilogy, and it comes with the download code. It looks like a disc, but it's a cardboard cutout. And then, but they made it look like a PS1 jewel case game, obviously, but it's only handed out to employees. I don't know if they're the ones that are working on the game or they're just employees that worked there in general, but it wasn't supposed to get in the hands of like collectors, but you know how that goes. And it's a really rare piece, really like that. And then I got my Gradius 5 breakdown DVD that gives you a tutorial on how to beat every level without getting hit. That's a rare item, not expensive, but it's rare and hard to find. Apparently it only went to some contest winners of a Gradius tournament that went down somewhere. I need to look up more stuff on that, but Legend Dragoon VHS tape, slide, 2 Band of Thieves little display. You're supposed to hook like stick it on a PS2 display cabinet. I don't have one, so it's just sitting there. And then the 20 million PS4 limited edition controller over there. Just hear it now, play it later. Just search it on YouTube. It's really hard to explain what that is. This cup is from Mondo, mondotees.com, and they do like movie posters and like movie memorabilia and stuff. And this is from Blade Runner, the new movie. And you can see all these cool little, just the way that looks on the bottom looks really cool. Ooh, something recently I've got, that Mortal Kombat 11 invite that people got. So when you win, there's 2 different kinds of coins you can get. Regular people that win got this, just this regular silver looking coin. And then, I don't know if I can zoom in on it, redeem for 1 drink. So you give this to somebody at the bar and you get a drink. I think it says redeem drink on side. So it's one-sided. Special guest got a gold coin with the Mortal Kombat dragon on it. And it looks really cool. It's really expensive. And a guy I got a poster from sent me a Trish charm. I don't know if you can see it. It's just the Devil May Cry logo here. I don't know if I can really see it. Oh well. It's not that special, but it's pretty cool. He was nice enough to send it to me for free, so... a really rare Wii accessory. It's a horizontal stand for the Wii, and it's complete in box. It's like brand new. I guess I'll call it used because it's open, because I opened it and looked at it, but I've never used it before. I want to, but I don't have anywhere to put it, so I'm going to wait on that. A Final Fantasy demo CD here has a few songs from the Final Fantasy X series here. And then this Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm promo here. It was in stores and it just plays music. I've shown this before in one of my videos. It only plays 3 songs from 3 different Final Fantasy games. I'll wait for that to go off. Classic. I like that. And then I got the Framemeister box in here. This thing is really expensive, guys. The chip that made the Framemeister is discontinued, so they will no longer be making these. I can see them maybe, I heard they're making like a different, like a newer Framemeister or something, but I don't know how they can improve on it. It's so good. Anyways, getting back into the Framemeister, let's stop right there. And I got this Einhander from EB Games. You can see it in the corner there. It's a mini strategy guide. you don't see these things often, and I would call it a hard find here on that one. The even harder one is this Mega Man X, the X-Files mini strategy guide, and it has like all the heart tank locations and things like that. I've never seen another one. I don't know, who knows where they're at out there in the wild. So, and here's a bunch of my amiibos. I went crazy on them for a while, and then I kept them sealed, and then one day I just opened them all because they all dropped in price. I didn't really care that much anymore, and I kind of regret opening them because the boxes look sweet. But let's close that. And then next is my Sega display rack here. So it has Sega on the front, and it says like Sega CD, Genesis, Game Gear. I can fit Genesis, Sega Saturn, and Sega CD games in these little slots here, which is pretty cool. So it has a little storage bin up top here. I got like a sealed amiibo up there, nothing too crazy. And it has that same side. On that one, on the back of it, it has another one of these rubber Sega logos too on it. So the reason why I face it this way, here's a new poster I got that I'm going to show in a pickup video. But anyway, well, let's start right here first. So these, I haven't got any more of these racks since I showed this off in like 2016, 2015, I can't remember. People try to sell these single racks that attach to this thing, just the racks, for like $300+ plus shipping, and it's just annoying. I bought these for $100 a piece back in the day, so you can see how things have changed over the years. So I still got the same games in here. I'm gonna take these games out eventually, and then I'm going to put Sega Saturn. I have a few Sega Saturn games over here, but not enough to fill these. But I'm not a huge Genesis fan, not really that much. So I'm gonna take these out, put these on a shelf, and then I'm gonna start collecting Sega Saturn because it seems really fun. I know I keep saying I'm gonna stick with PS1, but I don't want to get rid of this display, so I want to fill it with cooler things that I like. So let's take a peek in this terrible mess. So there's a key right here. It kind of gets covered up by this rack, but you can open it up. Gotta let this swing open a little bit. That's about as far as it'll go because it's so cramped, but there's a lot of stuff in here. Some N64 box games in here. Some Wii stuff in here. Last Story, a sealed Last Story. Velcro ties, Legend of Zelda Wiimote. More controllers. My PSP in here. Some sealed Amiibo, Dreamcast controllers, GameCube controllers. There's a bunch of stuff in there. I don't even know what's going on down there. So this is a cool little storage area. I guess it's, you know, if they ran out of a certain Genesis game, they would just go back in there and pull it out and then put it in this rack. But if no one's seen me do this before, I'll show you. Let's see. So the keys, I think it's this one. Let's check it out. Maybe not. Oh yeah, there we go. So you unlock it like you're in the store. You want to buy a game from the employee here. Raises this thing up here, slides all the way up, and then you can pull out one of your games. I haven't pulled these out in years, man. It's crazy. Now that I have the FrameMeister, I might be getting the Genesis I could use with upgraded graphics to the HD TV. I've been kind of getting out of the CRT phase. I was really into it for a while, but they're so heavy. They're literally back-breaking. I just can't do it anymore. And it takes up so much space, and that's what I don't have in this room, so put that back there. All right, getting to the end of the tour here. My last area, here's my PS2 setup. I got these standees, I got these like $10 a piece. Like, they're pretty decent standees here. So Dragon Quest VIII, Hitman 2, Getaway, and Tomb Raider standees sitting on top of this display rack that came from GameStop that I got in a trade a while back. But it has all my PS2 games on this rack here. And looks really good in my opinion. I love that the artwork is facing out. It's way cooler than putting them on like spine out, you know. So when I saw the setup and the guy was wanting to trade it to me for in a bundle of stuff that we were gonna trade, I was instantly sold on how good it looked. But These things open up down here. There's more shelving I can put on the inside. I don't have anywhere to put my PS4 games right now. I don't have a ton of them, but I have a bunch of PS4 games in here. This PS2 Bully, this rare special edition's just chilling in here, which I don't like it being in here. PS Vita, went a little crazy on that for a little bit, and I just stopped. A lot of limited run games in here. You'll see more limited run games in here than anything, or some I Am 8-bit games, like this amazing, I'm going to pull this out because people just need to know about this game. This amazing Hyper Light Drifter physical edition by Heart Machine. This game, it's a Zelda type like adventure game, but it's so good. The cover art here is, look at that, oh, so good. Look like Ava's from Evangelion on here. But this game is great. The soundtrack is amazing. The physical edition's long sold out. But as soon as I saw it, I immediately bought it, and I knew it was going to sell out. So, but anyways, guys, that's the setup here. And then I have this God of War 2. It's like a rug, and it's like pretty high quality. And sticking it right here in front of all my PS2 games is like a no-brainer. That's where it had to go. And then speaking of floor mats, let's hang on. I forgot one thing. This PlayStation 1 floor mat. Shout outs to Dr. Retro, one of my most favorite YouTubers, and probably one of the first people I ever subscribed to in my early days of YouTube. I've always seen this on his game room floor, and I always wanted it. And then one day I saw him putting it up for auction on a website, and I just bid on it, and it came from overseas, and I was scared it coming to the States, you know, getting packaged or lost or damaged or something, but it came in, it's not in perfect condition because it was just, you know, people, obviously you're meant to step on it, and people have been stepping on it, but you don't see any of this kind of stuff in the States. Like, we never got any of this kind of stuff. So it's a really high quality like floor mat. Like, this thing is like really nice, and it looks sick in front of my PS1 display case. So shout outs again to Dr. Retro. You're one of my favorite YouTubers, man. I love your stuff. But anyways, guys, that's gonna end the room tour here. We'll give a little look at everything again. Get a look here. That green's still bothering me up there now that I look at it here. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game room tour. This is my passion, my biggest hobby. I get made fun of a lot from some of my friends about it, but I don't think anyone really understands the hobby like you guys would. So hit me a like, hit me a subscribe. I do pickup videos all the time. I'm not really looking to get huge on YouTube, but I love showing you guys what I get. I love talking to you guys about it. So hit me up, subscribe, like the video, and then I'll see you guys next time.